Hey guys, Dib the Awesome here to give you yet another Monster Legends Progression Island guide slash review video where we talk about how Progression Islands work and the review of a current said Progression Island. Now, if you've never done a Progression Island before, it's pretty simple. Basically, there are things called pools, and that's basically the maximum amount of items you can get, or quests, items here. See this breed monsters. So every 8 hours, you get one breed monster. Also, all you have to do is breed a monster. I don't know, say Pandakin times Pandakin. That's the usual combination of how people get their stuff in. And I already collect mine, so I won't be able to collect again till 4. I believe I woke up at 8, so I won't get them till 4. I won't get my next breed till 4, but I can leave that there for now. Uh, and all that jazz. It's really, really important to keep track of when was the last time you collected, because it's always on an 8-hour pool. When it's a boost time, it's every 4 hours. Really, really take note of that. Whenever there's a progression island, odds are there's going to be an island boost, and you can collect stuff every 4 hours. I will say that is the best time to wake up if it's like a morning thing too, or yeah, I'd recommend doing that. Or just whenever it starts, because those are really, really important times to capitalize on, because you get the most items, you get the quicker things done. This is basically get stuff at a huge discount or choose your price pretty much with all these events, because all the items you collect reduce the price of the gems. So it's wise to spend wisely if you are going to partake in this event. And I will say there's a lot of good rewards if you do choose to do so, especially at the end. If you complete this entire progression island with really great cost effectiveness, like really, really good game at it, you should be able to walk away at least a decent stretch. I think it'll take quite a bit of gems to reach the end, but if you're really good with the pick and choosing your deals here, you might walk away with at least rank 1 Morgan. I don't know what the last two costs in terms of those cells, like the cells at the end of the banner. I don't really know, but I just know that Invar's banner is the last reward here, and it's really good. They haven't had a diamond. I think it was the only relic that didn't get a diamond relic, like the banners, and this banner is really good, but we'll get to that at the end. You should be able to get pretty far, even without having to spend too many gems. It's also a nice thing too. So as long as you're, again, doing your collections, you don't have to do really any gem spending, in all honesty. But if you want to pick your times right, like usually 25, like it's down to 25 gems, and you know it's going to be another 8 hours to collect that. That's usually a good time to skip. If you want to save time, you just gotta be able to choose the best times to skip. You get used to it as you do progression islands, or you notice when's the best time to just go on to the next reward. You should be able to get in every 8 hours, every max pool, you should be able to get 6 gold for food, and every 2 hours you're able to do a fight node if it requests it to. So I just did mine. So in the next 2 hours, I'll be able to do it again. If you need to skip this, all you need to do is still do the fight. Still do the fight. It's cheaper to do the fight rather than just get the item. So all you have to do is click the fight now. You spend the 2 gems. It is much, 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 much more cheaper if you are needing to get all those 3 done and then skip the thing if you're planning to, because it's more cheaper. Let's see what else here. I think it's time we talk about rewards. Yeah. So first off the bat, we get 40 Selves of Sir Francis Rock. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this is a anti-earth monster pretty much, and it is a earth monster itself, and it's a really bulky one. This thing is hugely bulky. I believe he had supports, like he did shielding, he did shield blocking on enemies. He's able to block the shield of enemies, he's able to remove the shield of enemies. But basically make it so your team can be tanky and their team cannot. And he also can hold two chest plates, so he's a really reliable on defense. He's a really good defense monster because he'll last a while for you. Does he counter Ophiuchus? No. But he is really tanky. He's just as tank. He's almost just as tanky as Progenius, and that's saying something. Just because, again, just because really, I think he was able to shield himself too, and also the fact he can hold two chest plates, which makes him a rock. Being able to stack plate the same, heavy duties is just OP and ridiculous, and that's why Keithor's the best tank in the game, because he can hold two heavy duty plates and he has great tanking skills. But this is a really good epic. And you start off with 40 once you get them done, and you'll be able to pick up the rest of his cells, the rest of the 60, to make the one, you get 100 of that boil, and you can just craft them after you get the this epic, and then you get the 30 globe rush cells. Now, Gears Van Kmark, which isn't as impressive as good old, what's his name? Sir Francis? Yeah, Sir France. SFR. Sir Franklin Rock. Just, yeah, Sir Francis Rock. We're going to call him SRR. Sir. Oh, Sir. Oh my, wait, does that really? No, we don't want to buy gems. Yeah, what was it? Sir Francis Rock? Yeah, no, SFR, yeah. Never mind, it was just me being goofy. But Van Kmark is a really good damage dealer, which also is able to kind of sponge stamina, but I don't find him too useful. Personally, I like epics that either support or are really tanky, because, well, the tanky ones do me really nice. They don't die on me. And the support-oriented ones usually have good buffs, or they have deny skills, DOTs, what have you. Those are the ones I usually like running. But these things are, damage dealers are probably good in the event there is a full-on epic war. I'd say to get a really decent damage dealer for epics for those occasions, and Van Kmark is decent at damage, but not something you can put on defense. His trait is terrible. It's like magnetism, I think. It's really garbage. But yeah, this guy excels at damage. I'm not too popular on that. But I do appreciate this monster because it is part of the Space Pirate series, which I really liked that maze. Besides the Battle Mage maze, I really liked the Space Pirate ones because it reminds me of Rogue Galaxy, which is a really great RPG that came out on the PS2 and is on the PlayStation Store for PS4, what have you. I highly recommend getting it. It's a wonderful game. This is Glowbrush. He is in realize that he is in 3 books. Really good, and he can hold a staff and a sword. So basically, he can run an ice-breaking great sword. Ice-breaking sword and the stamina draining staff. This is really good. Or stamina recovery is totally dependent on your needs. Equip the staff for your situation. But regardless, this is a really decent setup for attackers. It's a really good relic, comp. And another thing with Glowbrush is he's a really great light damage dealer. You have no idea how much damage this thing can deal in the span of 2 turns. Like, his base damage is crazy. I do believe he had a 70 and a 60 light damage skill. And he also applies light weakness. He just does loads and loads of damage in the span of 2 turns, and it's just really good. The only problem is he doesn't have a trait. However, since the introduction of War Masters, if you do plan on putting War Masters on defense and pair it up with Glowbrush here, that won't matter, and it'll be really good. Basically, I love War Masters with the idea that they give traits to monsters, and this helps monsters that don't have traits, so you can run things that have really great moves or stats, but had really terrible traits on defense, and they're going to work wonderful because of the War Masters. It's awesome that the War Masters kind of help out all these monsters with really good skills or moves or relic combinations, but don't have the immunity. and the War Masters give those immunities. It's awesome. It's really, really, really good. His ultimate's also really high base damage too. I think it's also light based, so it's just good stuff. I forgot the effects. I think it was burning. I think it burned you too. But he also has a single target burn and blind. I find him really, really awesome. He's one of the few alternative light monsters I use if I'm not going the all light supports. I will say in terms of light damage dealers, I like going to this thing. It is really great damage output. Next is the 60 Sir Francis cells. We already talked about that. Awesome epic, and you'll be able to get it done once you get this node done. Next is 2 bronze relics. This takes no time at all to complete. Oh, another thing, since we're talking about it now, each time you do complete a quest, you can do the thing. You're able to collect more again. You're able to, because it starts on a new, since you're starting a new node, the pool instantly refreshes, and you're able to get your 6 gold, your 4 food, whatever have you. Because the pool is cleared now, and you're able to do stocking again. And then that means you just have to keep track of the new time. Always 8 hours, just keep track of that, and you'll be good. The next reward is 20 Glowbrush cells, because so at this point you have 50. You have halfway there to completing your Glowbrush. We already talked about the monsters, so let's move on to Lamuna. The next node is Lamuna for 10 cells. You get 10 cells of Lamuna, so you need 90 more to get her done, but I think the rest are in the maze, so you're good. I don't know why they just do 10 now and then. I don't know if that takes any time to clear, but it's a node. I don't think it took too much to clear, actually. I got it done, so I think that's a really short node. Or like I skipped it. I did all the initial collections and then skipped it. It's not too expensive at all. It's a really short node. I don't even know why it's there. Other than to waste your time or gems. Or just a little bit of your gems, not too much. Did we already say 50? Yeah, we said the 50 Glowbrush cells, but yeah, you get 10 Lamuna. We might as well talk about Lamuna since we're talking about her now. I really love this monster. It's such an awesome magic monster. It has basically everything and anything a competitive player could ask for. It has the remove positive effects. It has the immunity to possession. Possession's really, really busted. Ever since the rework that the possession got, where you can't just charge now. It does things at random, and Lamuna's awesome because she also has AoE possession, even in her ultimate too. She has cooldowns activation. She has cooldowns deactivation that also heals and gives stamina back to Lamuna. The heal can be on whomever, and it's a single target skill, but regardless of who you put it on, Lamuna always gets the stamina back. She always gets the stamina gain back. The other monster doesn't get the stamina gain. But it does receive the healing and the cooldowns deactivation. It's a really, really good skill. I do run this monster a lot. I have it at rank 2, and with this, I might be able to get it to rank 3. I really, really like this monster. Again, I really liked the Space Pirates event, since this was probably one of my favorite monsters from it. I did like this. Besides Glowbrush, I'd say this was tied for first in terms of what I liked between the 3 Space Pirates. The next monster, we already talked about the 50 Glowbrush cells, so you're almost there. I do believe at this point you have... Well, actually, no, we didn't talk about that yet, but yeah, you get you get the rest to complete Glowbrush, basically, and I'm on that now, so I'll be able to get the 100 Glowbrush cells. Then I'm going to move on to Lord Mine Son, or your boy son. This is your boy, son. Your boy, your hood. Your boy. He is your neighbor. He's Mr. Robinson. This is your boy, Lord Mine Son. This is the one I do believe he's the co-lead of Private Morgan's crew. It seems to be. This is a support monster. It's a nature support that's stamina oriented, so he's really good at giving stamina back. to his team. He's in 3 books, and he's capable of doing possession skills. He has possession and stamina regeneration at his disposal, so he's really, really great at countering Thetis. While his stamina regen skills are rather high, they cost no stamina. So even if you stamina drain Lord Mindstone's team, if he goes before the enemy, not the enemy attacker, you mean like his attacker, is able to give them stamina back, and they'll be able to move and cause damage to your team and dismay. This can work well with quite a few monsters. I would think mountain monsters would be the most ideal, just for complete counteration against Thetis and Cryotankops. Well, I don't think the Cryotan, but just things that rely on stamina drain, because he's really great at countering them. I think he's also a good counter for Cryotan, too. I take that back. I think he's also great at that because he also has possession at his disposal. He runs at a 3,476 speed, so he's also really fast. You could also run him full speed if you so heartily desired. I think that would probably be his best route. Just in the case of the event in Team Wars, you just need another denier, and hey, your boy Monson got you covered. I think that would work. Yeah, you can run him full speed. I think that's his best role. It just gives you it's pretty much a Silotus. You could say he's just another Silotus. That's not bad to have. He's actually in more books too, so he might be more useful than Silotus. Though he just lacks that extra turn stamina recovery skill. And that's really good. I think I would keep. Yeah, I kind of say Silos is still kind of better because you could just do the extra turn skill and kind of counteract the enemy team if the chances arise. But yeah, I would like another pocket Silotus. That's never a bad thing. This is a really, really good monster. In fact, the new space monsters are really, really, really good. Speaking of the newest, space monsters, we got Privateer Morgan. I will say, if you plan on naming this monster, name him Morgan Freeman. Hashtag name Morgan Freeman. This monster is really, really, really cool. I'm not gonna lie, he's got a lot of good damage output. He's currently also top 5 damage dealers in the game because he's able to do triple damage to Evil Legion monsters. That's right, folks, you heard me right. He's able to do very, very, very heavy damage to monsters of the Evil Legion category. There are 74 Evil Legion monsters at the moment, and this guy destroys every single one of them. His damage output is crazy. He has a 60 damage spammable skill. He has a 70 damage base skill. He has a double damage giving skill. I don't know if you run that, but you for sure run the triple damage, the evil hater skill that also gives you precision too. So you're guaranteed to kill them. If this monster goes again after setting up his buff, one of the monsters is guaranteed to die if it's an Evil Legion monster. If it's an Evil Legion monster, that monster is guaranteed to die, even if they're not running, 2 strength wounds. I will say, if this monster is running a strength and 2 speed or team speed, what have you, it doesn't need the second strength wound because his damage output's so high to begin with. And being the fact a lot of popular magic monsters at the moment are actually in Evil Legions, such as Dungeon Master. I think a lot of people are kind of leaning towards using Dungeon Master on defense. So this monster can easily burst through that due to the fact he has Evil Legion. Which, when you're doing triple damage, even against something that's not very effective to, you kind of blow it up. just a little bit. You kind of overkill it. just by a hair, probably. He also is able to hold a mask and a sword, which is really good. The mask relic is just really variative in sustainability or stamina drainings, all by choice. Really, really awesome. The Icebreaking Greatsword, enough said. Always run that for a sword. It has been fixed now. Now the Icebreaking Sword breaks on whenever you stun, or you don't have to hit the stun. You can even apply the stun now and it procs. Before, you have to hit someone that is frozen or stunned. You can't just freeze someone and it procs. No, but now it procs when you freeze or stun someone. Which I'm very happy with that. That bothered me. And now that it functions like that, it's really, really nice. Do get an Icebreaking Greatsword at some point. It's really, really good. It works very, very, very well with attackers. And this one can actually proc it with his ultimate. His ultimate is a 70 damage AoE stun, I believe. So he can proc it himself. So it is a really good relic to proc put on him, even though he doesn't have a stun. I will say any attacker that can hold swords, which is usually every really good attacker in the game, usually. That's a really good, thing to put on it because it gives them shields, it gives them sustainability, and it makes it so they don't have to run life runes. Though you could run a Rainbow Rune on Morgan, again, you don't really need to run a second Strength Rune, especially if you get him at rank 2, which is possible if you do clear the entirety of this event. The next reward, which I think will be the longest, one of the longer ones, because this is a legendary monster, you get a solid one. This is High Mass. After you get the 20 Morgan cells, it's your boy High Mass. Love this monster. I think this was my favorite one of the event, like just hands down, just straight up, my favorite one. It's weird because I just said they were both. I said Goldbrush and Lambuna were kind of tied as my favorite, but nah, I kind of forgot my boy High Mass was here. This is my boy High Mass. This is Hayman's bubble buddy. This is High Mass. Don't get confused like if he's Hayman's buddy it must be really bad. No, High Mass is really good. And he's one of the monsters that excel really well with War Masters because he has quite a few goodies on his side. One, he has a lifesteal that's on a 1-turn cooldown, I believe, with a 60 damage scaling. He has a taunt. He's a taunt user. I think he's one of the best taunt users in the game because he also has evasion. That's right, folks. He has the busted version of invade. He has evasion, basically making him dodge everything until his next turn. What he can do is he procs extra turn, and I do believe that procs evasion as well. He has like an extra turn that gives him the evasion, and then he can taunt enemies. And he doesn't take any damage from if they do any single target attack at any point, he's not going to get hit, he's not going to get status effect, he avoids everything. It's really good. It's a shame that he's only in one book. He is, however, held back due to the fact he has the immunity blind. I wish he had hardened. I wish he had some defensive trait. And I would put this thing on defense, I would, because his skills are really good. He also holds a AoE damage skill that gives him damage. It's a damage boost, a really small one. He also holds a AoE damage reduction. Now I've seen that put in some great work. You can make great work with that AoE damage reduction skill. But most people opt to just run the damage boost, which is what I do too. I have seen that work though. I have seen the damage reduction work because he's naturally tanky to begin with. Now High Mass got blessed with the double mask relic slots. So basically, he can run Healing Mask and any other supportive mask you desire. This includes Exhaust Mask and, the Stamina Regen Mask. Or the Balthazar Mask, but whatever your heart desires for that second rune slot, relic slot, you can slap that on there. Always run the Healing Mask, always. If you can run double mask, one of those always has to be Healing Mask. There's no reason for it not to be, because it gives you so much healing. The base scaling on the health you get for the Healing Mask proc is just dumb. It's wonderful for tanks, and this is a tank that can hold up to 2. It doesn't do you any good to run double Healing Masks, however, because since you heal for so much, you probably, depending on your life scaling on that heal, you'll probably go over 50% easy. The Healing Mask heals you just about enough to probably get you over 50, and it's pointless to run 2. Because the second one it'll proc, but it won't take effect because you're already over 50%. It doesn't proc, the healing effect doesn't proc when you're over 50, and when the first one procs, they already gets you over 50. So the second one will still proc, but you won't get any healing out of it. It's a waste of a relic slot. I learned that with double potions, like double essence, double healing essence. It doesn't do you any good to run 2 healing essences because once you get over 50%, the second one will not proc. But again, this is a fantastic monster. This is the favorite one of all my favorites in terms of space monsters. In terms of the space pirate monsters, this was my favorite one. I loved getting High Mass. It was the first one to get two, I believe. I believe that was available monster to get first. Really fantastic tank. It's just held back by the traits again, but he is with the War Masters now. He'll be really, really good to put on defense with them. Silver Relic. This is a Silver Relic. It's a random Silver Relic for reward. Odds are this won't take too long to get. It's probably the same amount of time for the Bronze Relic, which is like one breeding item. I can't really go into in depth, but I say the best Silver Relics are potions and I don't ever, a lot of people really like the Silver Shields. I don't find them any good. To be perfectly honest, like the scaling just isn't all that good. It's like max, it's like 10,000. If you're running two, yeah, okay, that works. But that's specifically for the possession shield, and I feel like for the most part, the only time these really, really take good effect is if that person that was holding double shield goes first, or before the damage dealer. That's what I think, because it only procs on things that are currently possessed. So if your support is last in the turn order and the enemy, your monsters have already gone, then they're possessed, what have you. They're no longer possessed, or they're probably dead. It depends on what happened. You don't get much out of it, just straight up. I would say the healing essence and the stabs are probably the best for Silver Relics. I'm probably forgetting, like the stamina recovery mask is good too. So basically anything that heals or recovers stamina for silver is pretty good. And or if you get the possession shields, those are nice too. But that's really it. Yeah, I'm sorry I wasn't too in depth with this. But that's how I just think about it. I think the healing and anything that gives armor is good. Except the plates. Silver plates aren't good, just to run heavy duty. After you get the Silver Relics chest, you get 40 cells for Lamuna. The next one's 5 Elementium. So on and so forth. You just get the cells to complete every single monster, kinda. So you'll be at the end of the normal collection route after you do... pretty much after you complete High Mass. It's just a matter of completing the rest of the cells. And at the end here, you get the 120, 150, and most importantly, at the end of the Yellow Brick Road, you stumble upon Invar's banner. This is probably one of the best banners, if not the best banner in the entire game. Not banner, the relic, I'm sorry. This relic is busted, like straight up. When the turn starts, if any ally, so this is any person whose life is below 50%, all allies are healed by 1,000... not 1,000, 11,905 points of life, and there's an additional and to this relic, that's why it's so busted, and gain 33 points of stamina. This has two uses at level 1. It gives you 11,905, so 40 levels later, odds are it's probably all your life back. This relic is baloney. This is insane. So many monsters can run banners, like really, really tanky monsters to begin with. I think the biggest highlighted ones are General Uria and Xiofex. Uria is really good for team races, and Xiofex is really good for team wars. Can you imagine Xiofex defense running this? That's disgusting. This relic is amazing. I will say, if you didn't even care about any of these monsters in the event and just the relic, how good would it be worth just to get the relic, in terms of, like, would it be worth me spending a little bit of gems, even if I didn't care about any of these monsters for this relic? I'd say yeah. This relic is really, really good. You could probably get them in the relic chest, to be fair. It might, like, depending on if you're lucky, it could either cost you, 500 gems, or until you just pick it up, because it's not guaranteed. You get like gold or 1 gold or better. It's not guaranteed to pick it up in the chest, but if you do this entire event, you aren't guaranteed to get this. But this is a really good relic, straight up. And that's all that there is to this video. I'm the Awesome. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll catch you guys later.